What's up, guys, and welcome back to Baker's Financial Foundations. So we are here today talking about our debt and how we got to where we are today, and basically the start of our debt payoff journey. So I've got my son Liam here. He's going to be hanging out with us in this video again, and he has been quite talkative today, so hopefully he'll be quiet through the making of this video, but we'll just have to see how that goes. But I got my studio kind of set up a little bit better today. It's a little bit nicer than just sitting on the couch, but you know, with this guy hanging around with us, it's a little bit harder to keep everything clean nowadays. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started with our story and kind of where we are right now and how we're going to get started with paying off our debt, getting on a budget, and keeping everything rolling. So since my wife and I have been married, we have been very blessed in our lives. She has a good, stable job as a teacher. I changed careers from a mechanic into working into a warehouse industry, into distribution. And I have worked my way up a little bit in that into a lead warehouse worker role. That right there is just giving us the income to be able to live a normal middle class lifestyle. We don't have a lot of money coming in, but we're living on definitely enough in order to have a nice life and be able to pay for the things that we want to do throughout our lives. But we've come to a point now where we realize that we've got a lot more that we need to make sure we are taken care of, especially with Liam being born. My wife never thought she would want to be a stay-at-home mom, but since we've had him, when she stays at home with him, she has definitely kind of changed her mindset around a little bit to maybe if we have a second child, wanting to stay home after that. And the only way we're going to be able to do that on one income is for me to either raise my income or for us to take the income that we're making now, pay off as much debt as possible. And that's going to put us in a better situation in the future to be able to do things like that. So if you watched our last video, I kind of stepped into where our debt currently is and how much debt we are in. And with our house included, we are in $232,000 worth of debt. And it's something that you don't really ever think about until you just add up all the numbers and you're like, holy crap, like what would happen if one of us lost our jobs? We don't have enough savings to cover something like that. And it just makes you start to think about where you're at and what you want to do. We've always been the kind of people that would put everything on our credit card. At the end of the month, we pay the bill off. And depending on how big the bill was, would kind of tell us how our month went. And I've always been the person, even before we got married, that I would keep track of all my spending and just kind of keep an eye on everything. But what I realize now is that I wasn't really managing my money the way that I should have been. Sure, we could make all our payments. We've never been behind on a payment. We've never missed a payment. We've never been in a situation like that. But we have got to the point where we just kept adding a little bit more debt and a little bit more debt. And you just think, oh, $10 a month, $50 a month. It's not that much. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you. And you're going to realize that every dollar you have coming into your house is going right back out. And you're paying bills with it. You're not saving any of it. And you're not taking steps to get yourself ahead. So without our house right now, we are in about $110,000, maybe $111,000 worth of basically consumer debt. The first debt that we have listed out is a Discover card balance. It's on my Discover card and it's at 0% right now. It was one of the intro rates that we got. It's $2,200 with a minimum payment of $50. Megan's Discover card, it's at $13,150, 0% interest. Minimum payment of $250. Our Ford Explorer that we bought right before we had Liam, we didn't necessarily have to get a bigger car, but it was kind of one of those purchases where we knew we wanted a bigger car. I knew the style of car that we wanted, and that's just what led us out to get it. So now we are paying for it, which I don't regret it at all getting the car, but I do know that now it's going to be harder for us to get out of debt and really get ahead like we want to. But our Explorer is sitting at $35,600 with a minimum payment of $525, and the interest rate is at 4.1%. So then we go into Megan's student loans. So of course we consolidated those as soon as she got out of school. They're all federal loans, one subsidized and one unsubsidized, just kind of like your basic consolidation that you would get through the Fed. They're sitting at 4.875% interest. We owe $15,700 on one and $19,375 on the other. And the minimum payment for both of those is $251. So then we also have a home equity line of credit. Now, this is something we just recently got. And honestly, it was because of him. We didn't know how much money we were actually going to be spending when we had him. We had a couple other things that we kind of just plugged into the HELOC, paid them off real quick. And the rest of the money is now sitting in our savings account. So we didn't use all of it, but we took out $25,000 on the equity of our house, and that's sitting at 4% right now. The minimum payment on that is $120 a month, and that is basically all of our consumer debt. We really aren't living a crazy life compared to most Americans, but we are living a normal life, and that is something. Oh, jeez. What? But being completely normal is something that we don't want to do. We want to take a step out of our comfort zone and put ourselves in a much better position now. So finding the money to pay for all of this stuff has definitely started to become a struggle. And again, we're not behind on anything, but we are definitely to the point where everything we make is going straight out the door. We can't enjoy our money. We can't enjoy the life that we're living. All right, so we are back, and I definitely have a different shirt on because little man here decided to hack up all over my other one and then decided he wanted to take a nap. So we had to take a break from filming, and we are back now to finish this video. Now that you see how much debt we have, you kind of know what our starting point is. And Dave Ramsey always talks about your shovel to hole ratio. So I want to talk about our income a little bit and kind of where it's starting at through this whole journey and how I'm hoping to build upon it throughout the coming years, as well as what our plans are once we get all of our debt paid off. But right now, I just finished our taxes for this year, and we made right around $85,000 gross. So of course, net income, usable income to pay off debt is way closer to like $60,000. And if you think about $60,000 divided by $220,000 worth of debt, I mean, it's going to take years to pay all that off. But right now, we are definitely focused and driven to take all of our extra money, any extra money that we can find, and put it towards our debt. So right now, our budget is set with our income based around $4,600 a month. And that is our net income. That's after we pay all of our insurance. I put some money in our 401k. And all this other stuff. And I'll explain in other videos why I still put money in my 401k, even though Dave says not to. But right now, with what we have and the budget we have set up, it's going to take us 9 years and 4 months to pay off all our consumer debt. And then to pay off our house, that'll put us at 13 years and 7 months. Really, if you think about it, 13 years from now is really not terrible when you think about paying off all of our debt and our house, because that would put us the rest of our lives not ever having to make a debt payment again. But again, the way we're going to hopefully structure the next few years, I want to bump our income up, get it closer to that $100,000 range. And in order to do that, I'm going to work a little bit more during the summer, mowing some people's yards and trying to get some stuff like that under my belt. And there are things my wife can do at her job in order to earn a little bit of extra income. Although it's a lot more limited than my job right now, I can pick up overtime shifts. I can do stuff like that in order to gain more income throughout the year. But now with him, it makes it a lot harder for us to really pick up extra work. So we kind of got to be strategic about the way that we're doing it. Well, I guess we're sitting front and center for this one. Basically, the way that we're going to add more money to our income is to save money every month on our budget. Oh, jeez. He is not wanting to be in the video today, guys. I am sorry. But the best thing for us to do right now is figure out ways to save money every month on our budget, whether it's going out to eat, saving money on gas, or any of our other household expenses that we can find. And that's going to be the most beneficial thing for us in order to pay our debt off. And I sort of mentioned it a little bit that we have money put back in our savings account, and we do, and I will definitely go over that in a future video as well. But ways that we can pull from our savings to pay off some of the debt that we have now, but still feel financially secure enough with him being here and everything going on in our lives that we don't push ourselves too close to the edge, that we have to get into more debt if something else happens. So this journey is definitely not going to be easy, but it's going to be fun. And I know for sure it's going to be good for us and our marriage, not only financially, but emotionally as well, because we'll be able to be more connected and push towards a common goal that we set for each other. And also for him, just making sure that Liam is set for the rest of his life, that he doesn't have to worry about us and our financial situation. And that way he can hopefully start his life completely debt free, and we can teach him the same principles that we've had to learn later on in our life. But the craziest thing about putting this journey on YouTube is now everybody's gonna be able to see it. And it's something that's gonna push us to make sure that we're doing exactly what we say and show you guys every step of the way through the process. So it's gonna make it super exciting. And I hope it's gonna be a journey that you guys want to follow. But also, if you're thinking about starting this journey yourself, that it can be encouraging to you. And we can sort of build a community here on YouTube around paying off our debt and getting financially fit. If you guys are enjoying the content, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, because all the future videos coming out are going to be following this entire journey. It's going to be going from starting a budget to changing our budget month to month based on what we have coming in or going out, finding ways to save money throughout the month, showing how paying a little bit extra on debt every month is going to change our snowball and the time frames that are showing that it's going to take us to pay it off. But not only that, but just remaining positive throughout the entire journey, because it's not going to be easy, and it's definitely going to be something that you need encouragement going through. But with that, that's all I've got for this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, I will see you guys in future videos. Thanks for watching.